I'm making lasagna with ground beef, and instead of pasta I'm using vegetables. Here are my ingredients. I have garlic, zucchini, squash, eggplant, tomato, ground beef, egg, ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, and marinara sauce. The first step is to wash and dry all your veggies, and then now I'm going to slice them up and I'm going to mince the garlic. I add some garlic to my pan. Add oil, garlic, and then I place the vegetables like this in the pan. Now for this step, some people bake the vegetables, but I prefer to just cook it lightly on both sides. I like the flavor that I get when I do that. I add some salt and black pepper for flavor. I just like average. Don't allow these to get too brown, just turn them over. So that they are like half cooked before we bake them. Then we continue to do this with the rest of the veggies. You can add more oil or garlic if needed. Pepper and salt. When you average it's like a little bit cooked on one side, you flip them, turn them over, and just let it cook for just a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Dice 1 onion and 1 tomato. Add your onions and tomatoes to a pan. When that's nice and tender, you add your ground beef. And mix that in there. Let that boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then when most of the water would have been boiled out, just leave it to simmer for another 10 minutes. Now, while the ground beef is being cooked, that takes about 30 minutes, we prepare the ricotta and garlic and egg yolk, and not egg yolk, the entire egg. We get a large container and then we just put that in. Add the eggs and the minced garlic. And then give that a good mix. And here you can add chopped spinach if you like for a wider variety of vegetables. Mix it well and then just set it on the side. Okay, and now we've come to my favorite part of it all, the layering. I start with eggplants. So I have the eggplants and the tomato. I'm gonna go in with some of the ground beef. And just spread it out on top of that. Make sure to get the corners. Nice and even. Ricotta. And spread that out. And even though I feel like it's not going to get thick enough, it still ends up getting thick. So I like that. It's building. So we layer with this. And then we add another layer of vegetables. I'm going in with the squash. I'm sorry, that was actually wrong. I have to add some mozzarella first before I go to the. And if you like cheese, you can go ahead and add a lot. I like cheese, but I like it in small portions. So for me, I'm not going to add. This is actually too much for me, but I'm not making it for myself. I'm making it for someone today. So I'm just gonna add a little extra. Actually, this is for our Bible study group. And then now I'm going to go ahead with the other, and that's a piece of eggplant right there. Vegetable. So I finished layering with zucchini and squash. Look how pretty the green and yellow looks together. Now I'm going to add another layer of ground beef. like to start with the corners sometimes. I don't like when the corners get missed. The ground beef is still hot, and I think that helps to cook the vegetables a little further before we bake them. I'm not sure. I think so though. Nice and even. Then we go in again with the ricotta cheese. And if you're a huge fan of ricotta, you can use even more than what I'm using. But I feel like this is a good amount. And there it is, we're at the top of the container already. I'm going to go in with our mozzarella again. Again, you can use as much as you want, but I just don't use a lot of cheese. Just personal preference, no reason. And also you can add a little bit of grated Parmesan on top.